Good afternoon, Peterson family, or good morning, good evening, whatever time y'all may be watching this. It's Mr. Williams. I want to share another art lesson with you. Found a really cool idea online where we can make landscapes. So a lot of my students know how much I try to stress the difference between landscape view, which is like the paper like this, or portrait view, papers like this. And so I want to do exercise where we can create a landscape, at home. So I was thinking, instead of using pencil and paper, I saw this cool idea where you can use like clothing, you can use towels, sheets, socks, paper, whatever you have to kind of put the elements together to make the landscape. So that's just in case, you don't have paper or you don't have pencil or you're saving it for something else. This is an alternative, so that way we don't have to use our resources. So I have two definitions that we've talked about before, but I wanted to remind you of them. The first one is landscapes in art. So that's a depiction of a landscape from nature in art. So, it could be mountains, it could be a lake, it could be a beach scene, it could be wooded areas, it could be an open grass field, anything that's out in nature where you have the sky, you have the land, and you have the horizon line. So that's another word that I repeat a lot in our class, horizon line, which is the line separating the sky from the ground. So the ground could be grass, water, anything, but the horizon line is important so we can see, where we are and, where the viewer is in perspective of our artwork or the drawing. So I made a video, like a slideshow, and I'm gonna show you that and try to talk over that so you can get a step-by-step idea of my process. But I would start by you can either go outside and look for a landscape or look for something you want to see outside, or you can just simply Google it. I would like to be at the beach right now. So I Googled a beach scene, and then from that I just kind of looked for materials that would help me create that landscape as best as I could. Anybody living like with really small children, you could use that clothing is really helpful if you want to like put like a body or a human being inside of your landscape and be walking in the landscape. That could be really helpful. So again, I'm gonna try to talk through this video. It's a step-by-step of how I did it, but just so you can get an idea of what to do. But like I always say, be creative. I'm giving you an idea of what you should do, but I'm open to any idea that you have. And I would really love if you get to participate and you finish, if you could send this to your teacher, because I would love to see your work. All right, have a good day. So again, you can find the picture you want to go with. I chose this one. So let's see what we can make from looking at this image. So I started with the rug. I thought the color of the rug was pretty close to the color of the sand. And it was already there, so I figured I'd use that. So after I had that, I had to decide how would I add in the blanket. I wanted to use a blue blanket to represent the water. So to do that, I would have to identify the horizon line, right? So typically the horizon line is kind of like right in the middle. So I took a blue blanket. It'll show up soon so you can see it. Folded it just a little bit to give it kind of a ripple so it looks like waves, or my interpretation of waves. And I added that in. So I'll let that load. You'll be able to see that. Next thing, I added in the shirt to imitate the body. It looks like a body. It's a small shirt, so it matches the dimensions of my little frame perfectly. So it almost looks like an adult body, when really it's like a kid shirt. Added in the pants and some socks. If you have small kids around, clothes work perfect. They help a lot. I found this bag, so I used that bag and put it on the ground first before I added a plate, because I wanted to use real fruit. But of course, I don't want to put the fruit on the ground. So I put the bag down first, and then I found a plate that would kind of match it. So I put the plate down on top of that, just so I wouldn't be putting the fruits directly on the ground like that. So again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. So some people are, a little more careful about the food or clean clothes or whatever it may be. There's ways to go around it. Do the project whatever suits you best. If you don't like putting your clothes on the floor, do it put it on a bed. Or you can use napkins or anything, paper towels. You can color and draw and put those elements onto the picture to add to it. It doesn't have to only be fabric. Have full liberty to be as creative with this as possible. Last thing, we use a Frisbee and a little hat, hat with the raccoon on top just to look like a head. So that's pretty much it.